Greetings and welcome to Shadowstar and this Star Trek Online Starship visual review video of the legendary Ambassador class's Horatio class. Have you met her yet? She's quite the elegant ship. An interesting stylization, I must say. Hell, I'm actually seeing little hints here from other vessels, so we'll comment on that when we get there. For this visual review video, we'll go through several steps, the first step being how you can customize her and your possible options. Then we'll head to use demo record and just to see what footage we can get there. Take a look at her finer detailing and see what we can pick out from the design of the Horatio class. After that, we'll go into the bit which I think most people are most heavily interested in, and that is the vanity shield visuals that you can have for this ship. Not all of them, mind you, I don't quite have them all yet, but we'll do every single one that I've got. Now, without further ado, let's take the USS Tribal Typhoon and look at her customization. Shall we begin? Damn, she's a fine looking ship. Though, I wonder if anyone's noticed what I change on her. Maybe giving away the one element I'm not 100% keen on, but hey, that's not how she actually looks. Let me correct this. Okay, Horatio, bring back your secondary hull. Now, options for this ship are quite actually large, but then not so large. Allow me to explain. As for templates, you have the Ambassador, which has been nicely updated, including a new material. The Yamaguchi, which I have been informed appears actually in Deep Space Nine at some point. I didn't know that, but this is her fleet variant in game. Then the Narendra, which, oh, she's pretty. She looks really good to me. Narendra Beta, which is how we originally got her in the game. That's right, we originally got her looking in this style, and now they've actually introduced a almost fully concept design of her, the one that takes most accurately to the concept art that we saw of the ship, which I'm really glad we've got. For certain reasons, you can probably guess. And then of course, the Horatio. This ship also comes with a decent supply of optional bridges, though these are majority Zen bridges. Yeah, for some reason I've purchased almost all of them over time. Not entirely sure why. Very rare do people spend time on the bridges of their ships, I've noticed. You have the Type 1s to Type 5 windows, the Galaxy windows, which look very nice on this ship, I will say. And the fleet, if you're into that taste. Mind me bringing back up the Galaxy? Suits a little bit better in my personal opinion. Hello, Oggy just logged in. Oh, next up, well, hull types, and that is wow. A few, to say the least. So obviously we've got the Type 1s through to Type 7 that we've had before, and you're seeing the Type 7 at the moment on the ship. It's a standard hull. Type 8 and 8B are the Motion Picture Universe's additions for certain vessels, including the Excelsior. You also have Type 0 if you want a TOS feel to the vessel. It does suit this ship a little bit better than I would have expected it to. Your upgrade and veteran, in case you're interested in those. I've got to say, there's a few things to spot on here, isn't there? Of course, the Sovereign, which looks absolutely gorgeous. Kind of ruined a little bit by the deflector dish, I will say. Well, the design of the deflector. The Sovereign refit. Hang on, I'm going to angle up this way a little bit. Oh, sorry, the Sovereign refit and the Sovereign. I said that the wrong way around. NX refit, which very much suits this vessel. Very nicely. The NX itself. Of course, the Narendra, which looks absolutely gorgeous and was always going to look good on this ship. The Intrepid, for those who are fans of Voyager. Excuse my throat. The Galaxy class. Again, if this one didn't look good on this ship, I'd have been highly disappointed, and I'm glad it looks as beautiful as it does. The Fleet Type 2. Fleet Type 1. Hello. I can select it. Defiant, which is probably the most prominently nice one. I do love the cherry facades. And finally, the Ambassador, which again looks really good on this ship. Not my favourite, but looks pretty good. You can customize this ship by changing out the hull, the saucer, the neck, the pylons, and then the sails. Kind of the typical on one of these Federation ships by this point. Okay, shall we go and take a look in demo record? I'm not really sure where to start with this ship on its actual finer detailings. I mean, I was tempted to start off with the neck. Anyone else spotting some funny things to spot there on the neck? No, the textures that don't quite mesh up. I mean, I know you're not normally supposed to see the ships up this close and in this much detail, so this is something you wouldn't normally see playing in the game. I said the Ambassador was rushed originally. I was very happy the fact that it at least got a very original, or at least a well thought out original concept design for the ship. But oh, I wasn't expecting to see that kind of thing. Who didn't do the designer justice? I'm joking. This I'm hammering on that way too long. Personally speaking, anyone who considers that a problem didn't see the repulses line up, the way the neck blended to the saucer. Personally, I think that actually gives a little bit of life to the ship, because what we're seeing there, if follow that along, just follow that train along, and you may notice what that looks more like. Personally, that's the saucer separation. If you look how that follows around, it's perfectly throughout the entire ship. I feel like this ship saucer separates by actually taking some of the neck with it. And that's not necessarily a problem. I'm a little bit confused as to why it splits into this piece of the hatch there, or whatever that is. Not sure it should have done that, but I still stand by that being and feeling like saucer separation. Also, just why we keep it down here, can I just say, the detailing to the torpedo tubes look very nice. These actually look modular. So to speak, you could take them, dismantle them, remove them, and put new ones in. Easy to upgrade the torpedo mechanism, or torpedo launchers. Now, why we're down here and under the ship, because I do want to stay down here a little bit longer. Get your position right, and you get some really interesting lighting effects down here too. Hey. So there's a few things I want to point out here. With the deflector, which... Okay, let's zoom out first. We'll go with deflector first, because this is a negative. Why does it have an O-berth deflector? I mean, someone else pointed it out and described it as an O-berth deflector, and I didn't see that first because I was seeing the secondary deflector design. Now, if you took the O-berth piece out of... well, that extra piece that's in the middle of the deflector, took that out just to have the dish at the back, that to me would have felt a lot nicer than this look that you have got. Now, the O-berth touch on it is slowly growing on me, very slowly. I still don't feel like it fits. I think it would have fitted much better to me if you had just, instead of keeping that round shape, stretched it, given it the more of the Narendra class's deflector sort of shape, or closer to the Galaxy class's shape, just with the smoother top. So like a semicircle, turned it into a stretched semicircle, and I would have liked that a lot better than this. To me, it's a little bit too round. I know it's a queue to the Ambassador class, but then this is a lot of generations evolved from the Ambassador class. Yes, the Sovereign has a round deflector, I know, but I'm just saying, this ship lineage line, to me it just seems a bit weird to be going back towards the round. Now, up on the deflector we have this strange little vented hatch here, which I'm not entirely sure what that is. A personal thought is that if this ship has, instead of a tall warp core, this has a warp core that lays flat, that could be how it gets rid of the warp core, just straight out the front of the ship. Be great as well, because it could use it like a weapon. But obviously, looking underneath, you can see where the warp core is on this ship quite prominently. Yeah, that's not what that is. So, if you guys want to put your own little additions in and say what you think this odd hatch is, let me know. I look forward to it. Now, something I do like to point out is we have a hangar bay down here. Look at that, in the middle of the neck. Yeah, it's a little bit dangerous because you kind of come out of there and go straight headlong into the saucer. But we have a little, excuse me again, we have a little hangar bay here. It's only a small one, keeping in mind the size of the ship. It's only a small hangar bay, you can see how far back it goes. But it's nice to think it's there because it's attached to, yoink, come out the back here and up. It's attached and below that section there, which leads to the other hangar bay. So it is safe to say that they're actually attached to each other. My only problem with this being is that hangar bay may or may not be a storage bay of some kind. I'd be more willing to believe it's a storage bay, but I will go there as to why in a bit. You probably already noticed, but I'll go as to why I think it's a storage bay in a bit. If it is a hangar bay, I do like the fact that it's so close to this hangar bay. If it's not a hangar bay, yeah, not so much. Okay, finally break away from that whole neck. That's a lot of time talking about the neck area, isn't it? Now, if we go forwards, we've got a very, very nice bridge module. And spotting the copper, there's RCS thrusters throughout this ship in normal locations and then unusual locations like you have got on here. And I'm theorising there. It doesn't look like it, just looks like a plate of metal, but I'm just saying it doesn't feel quite right. So maybe? Sorry about that tinging and chiming away that's just happening. Move around, we've got some nice plates. Now, originally, I thought these might be hangars as well. Hangars that hold, say, a runabout or a couple of shuttles. Very small hangars. But after seeing this on certain other shield aesthetics, definitely not. They do look like hatches of some kind, but again, probably storage hatches more than anything else. Considering where they are on the ship, I'm not certain. Down, 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 down. Alright, we were talking about hangar bays, so let's continue talking about hangar bays. Come back here. Love the clamshell look. Love the fact that that's a look that almost follows in line with the Sovereign. And as you follow this, is so many details to spot around here. First of all, the flow of the neck is really nice and the impulse engines look absolutely stunning. I love the ribbed effect that's inside there, and it just makes the impulse engines feel more powerful, but also concentrated and protected. They're less likely to take damage. You've got a little bubble here, which I'm hesitant to make speculation on what that is. The only thing that comes to my mind is engineering is right there, underneath that in some form. But as you follow the flow of the neck, which, much like the bubble, this ship just follows this smooth flow. It's very much using circles and curved edges for this vessel's design. I love how that flows down from the neck. And then you've got this, what feels like a little overlap. And it is just gentle, just subtle, but a nice little overlap that goes from the secondary hull into the pylons. And just makes it feel more organic and free-flowing. A little, not so sleek. It takes away from the sleek feel, I will say. But it still makes it feel organic, makes it feel more lively. It's a nice little touch in my opinion. I do like the way overlays with itself. Now, continuing on, we'll go down to the back here behind the hangar bay, and we've got a nice rear deck, probably like 10 forwards. This is like 10 aft. Well, 10. 46 aft. I don't know how many decks this ship has. This is like a nice rear hangar section. Probably a nice observatory zone. People can look out the rear of the ship and it has a nice view. It's got unusual emitters. These could be the more modernized versions of tractor beam emitters, or they could be something entirely different. I have no idea what they are. They could be vents. I'm very unsure, so again, I'm going to leave that to you. Now, there was a note I picked up on. I wanted to check what that was because it was glowing purple. Well, to me personally, that actually feels more like that would be the tractor beam emitter right there, actually. That feels like the sort of thing I'd expect a tractor beam emitter, a really powerful tractor beam emitter, mind you. The sort that could probably tractor beam a fucking moon. But, yeah. Yeah, that's an exaggeration enough. I do feel like it's a tractor beam emitter. I like the copper piping. I think that looks really nice on the ship. Now, I did note that you could potentially say this, what's it? English me. I did say that you can tell where the warp core ejects from. Yes, I'm being an idiot. I've just realised that's in multiple places. They're actually sensor nodes. I still feel like the warp core is going to be in this underside and dropped out the bottom. I just can't quite tell where. But there are plates that are raising a question for me. They look like hatch doors of some kind, maybe even feet. And that's these little plates either side of what I've just called the tractor beam emitters. Now, what confuses me about them is the fact that they are obviously built up and they come off the ship in some manner, so they clearly have some functionality to them. They must do. But I'm very uncertain of what that could be because of the shape of them and their positioning. It's not where I was expecting anything to really be. Up and along the pylons, and we get to the nacelles. Yes, I'm breaking away from that rather quickly. Now, the pylons to me, not really much I'm going to say on them. I've already said what I wanted to say, and that was that I love this flow effect that they've got to combine them to the secondary hull. Over to the nacelles, and you get a completely different feeling. Now, these nacelles to me, they feel a bit blimpish, but then again, that's in fitting with the feel of an Ambassador class and the Ambassador evolutionary line. That's fine for me. Yes, they're a bit bold. Personally, I would have taken off that forward housing. This bit of housing that is literally just coming over the top of the Bazaar Collector, I'd have cut that off and brought the Bazaar Collector all the way up, just to give a full piece in the front of the ship. Would feel better to me, but I like the way they've gone for a sort of Galaxy class aesthetic here. It looks like you got a piece of the Galaxy class nacelle going on here. So I approve of that on that status. I do like the feel of that. I like the elemented feel that it feels like this has come straight off a Galaxy class and then it's had something attached on top. It's been sort of compacted inwards, so it's not as wide, and then it's been made taller. I like the way it attaches to the nacelle. I like the way the warp coils feed back. Probably would have lightened off a little bit on the heavy warp coiling at the front of the nacelle. My gripe comes in with what is essentially the turbocharger on top, which is very long, and what? Why does it look like it's got a shuttle bay hatch door on it? It's a random hatch door. What is coming out of there? The only thing I can assume is that there is some kind of prototype to this ship that requires you to be able to install and remove something that burns out really quickly, or within short flights. But then again, this is an exploration vessel. What is it doing with something that may have to be replaced this readily? Personally speaking, that should be covered up. That shouldn't even be there. Because if there's something that you need to replace in the nacelles, that often that you'd need to have quick access to it like this, this would no longer be a long-term exploration vessel. At the most, it would be a short-term. That's bad, in my opinion. So away from that, what could it be? Worker bees? Maybe it's a worker bee hatch, but worker bees might as well be coming out of the shuttle bays. Why there? What is going on there? I've griped with that because it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, away from anything else, I was going to talk about the impulse crystals, which are huge on this ship, and a very clear at what was probably supposed to be a temple dome until they realised probably not the best idea to keep the ship as temple. So now it's an intelligence sensor node. Yeah, intelligence vessel. It's an intelligence sensor node. Helps the cloaking device. Let's talk about the weapons. Oh boy. Let's talk about the weapons. Let's keep track. We're gonna talk forward of the ship now. Forward armaments of the ship and what you can really see on that mind. Now, you could count these two aft beams, but to me they're more aft than they are forward. So we've got 3 major beams on top, 3 long, very powerful high output beam emitters, probably with multiple arrays. Underneath, you have 3 again, which is exactly what you'd be expecting. A lot of power, a lot of pressure from the ship's beam arrays. Nicely, you have some of these newer torpedo tubes seen on the most recent starships, with essentially what looks like 3 different tubes per launcher. So they're tri-torpedo launchers. Great for rapid fire, I would say. A lot of power for the forward section. 6 beam arrays, 2 torpedo launchers. Great. That is a lot of firepower, if you ask me. Can it get any heavier? Oh boy, yes. Oh boy, yes. Right, now let's move towards the back of the ship, where things get interesting. First of all, aft view. Well, maybe you got some aft views there. 1, 2, both on the pylons. A 3rd right in the middle there, before I mention the torpedo tubes. So a 3rd in the middle, that's nice. That's 3 emitters at the rear, okay, okay. 4, 5, great. 6, 7. A lot of rear beam arrays. To be fair, 2 of these out of the 7 are actually forward and aft, since they are essentially broadsiding beam arrays, the ones on the sides of the pylons. So you could say you're looking at less firepower towards the back, but without speaking. You then go to torpedo tubes, and this is mad. This is maddening to me. 2 nice, powerful torpedo tubes. Looks like normal torpedo tube launchers, unlike the forward ones. Probably not as powerful. They're firing quantums, but not the same level as the front ones would be firing. Also, probably probe launchers for that matter. However, they are backed up. Oh, they are backed up, because where those are huge quantum warhead launch. I'm going to say quantum warhead launchers because they are the same size as each one of those emitters are solidly. We have another pair of, well, 4 torpedo tubes. 4 torpedo tubes right behind the hangar. The saucer is so heavily armed, it's baffling to me. It has literally got 4 torpedo tubes for itself that it can launch for the rear. So yeah, if it needs to make an escape, it can protect itself while trying to escape. That's probably why you've also got the 2 beam emitters on the top there, to be fair. Now, if there were more torpedo tubes on this ship, I didn't find them, and I'm kind of glad, because personally speaking, that just makes this ship a powerhouse of weaponry. It's actually, funny to say this, but it's actually better armed than the Galaxy class. And that really says something. She's got better armaments than the Galaxy class. Clearly the Dominion War made the Federation think differently. So with this being said, how about we move on now, of course, to the vanity shields. Care to come along? Oh, so where do we go from here? Okay. Let's get vanity. Starting off with the Alliance vanity shields, of course. Of course. Be a bit weird if I didn't. Ha! Well now. That's interesting. Little things that I like to was focusing on, and now I'm less focused on them. Or to give you a hint, I may have changed up my ordering. Yes, this is coming last, but I actually recorded it before to help me spot things that I would not have otherwise spotted. Oh, speaking of. Hello there. Anyone else spot it? Ah, we'll see. Of course you spotted, I've probably already mentioned it. Of course I by your vanity shield. Well, hot damn. I was not expecting this to look good. Not on this ship, at least. Honest thoughts, I thought the bio was not going to suit this ship at all. Anyone else think that hangar looks great? Speaking of hangars, they're everywhere. Next up, let's go and assimilate the Borg vanity shield of the Cooperative. Which personally, this is... Yep, turn the ship around. This is personally my favourite looking variation of the vanity of the Borg coloration. Or Borg shield, should I say. One, because I prefer blue over green, if I'm totally honest. Not always, but most of the time. And secondly, because it feels more Borg. To have all the Borg-like plating over it. Ooh. Not entirely keen on that random subsection, but the rest of it is still very nice in my opinion. And I do very much like it. Is it funny that I did it in reverse direction to have a look around the ship just then? Da 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 da! Yeah, we'll take a second look at that bit and that was done. But next up, we go Discovery Vanity Shield. Now, I should have already mentioned it, but I'll say it again. Anyone notice that in the original concept art of Discovery, it had a dip in the saucer? Hello, dip! You know, with the Discovery Vanity Shield, that dip does look alright. Mind you, my brain may have been adjusted to believe that due to the original concept art. Still, the Discovery hull aesthetic on this ship does look reasonably nice. Luckily, the lower torpedo tubes don't look so silly. My only problem lies in the messed up graphical errors of the forward torpedo tubes. But yeah, one day Cryptic will fix graphical errors. Yeah, of course. No, they won't. If they were going to, they'd have done so in the Dyson Sphere already. And what is the Dyson Sphere now? Tier 6 ships. How long have they been around for now? Here you go. Okay. Emperor's Vanity Shield. Not looking so bad. It's quite nice. I do like the aesthetic. It's not too dark and the warm glow just really suits it. Why do I feel like I'm at full impulse? I'm not, I'm just really fast. What the hell? Okay. Not really used to my ship being fast. Feels weird. Also, looks good. Next up, we'll go to, of course, the Fakiri or the Faklari. Depends on who you ask. Vanity Shield. The ship feels too new for the rustic look, but then given time and age, this ship could end up looking like this, so at least we know when it's old, worn, beaten down and not in mothballs as a result. She's going to look worse for wear. I think starting the lower half of this ship is actually a smarter move. Okay. Then we have the Kelvin Divergence Vanity Shield. Time to wash out, and possibly this is going. I bleached my eyes. What has it done to those Bazaar collectors? And why is that purple? Oh no, that's just reflecting light. That's why it's purple. Look where I am. Not the best place to be when I'm trying to look at the colorations, is it? Straight underneath the tower. This is the first time I've ever managed to go directly under the tower. Ignoring the wreck on the Bassards aside, because those Bassards are wrecked, it does at least look okay. Emergency time, medical vanity shields. Kind of doctors I wouldn't mind having. Is that grey? The secondary hull piece... Oh, sorry, the saucer's secondary hull plate is grey. Secondary texture is grey. English, I can English people. Green glow with a yellow? Okay. What amuses me is the fact that we call this the medical vanity shield, and it probably, if to the younger generations that plays this game and enjoys this game, it probably threw them off depending on where they are in the world, because the coloration that you see here is not the coloration used for medical services across the world. It's only, I believe it's only this color in about 5 different continents. Continents? Countries. You know what? You guys can have that blooper. You guys can have that blooper. Just take that for fun. Oh. Wow. Wow. Do you know what? There are certain bloopers I like leaving in, and this is going to be one of them. Section 31. Oh no, wait, we haven't got platinum. Oh! Oh god, did I not do platinum on another ship? So it turns out I glitched out full impulse because I couldn't go full impulse trying to get back to the command. But that's because I was actually at full impulse and couldn't disengage it. Now I'm travelling at normal speed. Can you see the difference? Right. Platinum. Let's do platinum. Oh, wow. Graphic glitching. I do hope I did the platinum on the Excelsior, or the Repulse, because I was looking forward to seeing what that looked like. Well, I knew what that looked like before I even did the review. That's probably why I didn't notice if I did. Tell you what though. Hot damn, I like the way that looks. Not a bad looking ship with the platinum on, eh? Looks good. Looks very good actually. Now then, next up, let's go section 31, Vanity Shield. Bassards are fine because they're greyed out. In fact, to me, that looks really good. I like the removing of the texture there. All the coloration looks fine to me. I do personally think it's popping quite a bit, actually. Platinum is my favourite so far, but Section 31 is not a bad second choice. Not bad at all. Aegis. Oh god. If you're a Klingon, the glowing strips would be red. Well, the beam strips look like they're more powerful right now, don't they? The whole deflector looks more life. This has actually made the deflector look better to me than it originally did. I'm not going to say I'm keen on it, but it's not the worst case of the Aegis shields for a Federation vessel. Okay. Next up, we have to assimilate the assimilated regenerative shields. The Borg rep. Or Omega rep, should I say. One of the Omega reps. It's not bad looking, if I'm honest. It feels right to me. It feels sort of what I would expect to see from a ship being assimilated by the Borg. That's not a problem in my personal opinion. I think that looks quite nice. We need to fully assimilate now. Let's see how this looks. Oh my. Oh my. Tacked on. I don't like it when it's tacked on. Oh wow. Okay. The poor deflector dish looks like someone ate it alive. Yeah, the impulse array looks tacked on. That doesn't feel fitting at all. And the bit on the warp nacelle, I mean, it's not too bad. It just doesn't feel quite right. I think it'd look better if it was moved back a teeny bit, just to prevent a little bit of weird clipping that's going on there on the top of the deflector. Sorry, top of the nacelles. What is that? Is that an RCS thruster on the top of a nacelle? I mean, it matches the other RCS thruster, so yes. Okay. Yeah, this is a thing. Next up, this one should look pretty good overall. The Bajoran Defense Covariant Shield Array. Ba, 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 ba. I don't know what I really think of this. That's a lie. It looks like someone slapped metal plates on the saucer on the underside. Like someone literally walked up to it and gone, "Ooh, we've got a scratch. I know how to fix it, even on the nacelles. I know how to fix this scratch." Thunk. Yeah, metal plate. That does the job, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't look quite symmetrical. Yeah, but the other side's not been damaged. Sorry, throw a metal plate in the exact same place on the opposite side. Why can't we just fix the hole up properly? 'Cause I said so! Yeah, sorry, I'm taking the piss here. I do like the Bajorans, but if this is really what Bajorans decide is a hole aesthetic, I question Bajoran hole aesthetics. Next up. Oh. Counter Command Covariant Shield Array. Might just be me, but that looks pretty good. You see, I do like the colour green from time to time. That deflector looks really good. What? How? What? How is that made? What? I don't get it. How has that made the deflector feel completely different to me? Like, completely different. It's not changed the shape, the body, or anything. All it's changed is the surface. Is it those two little glowing discs? I mean, if I flipped it upside down, it'd look like a snake head. Shut up, I'm hiding in the secondary hole. Don't make me eat you. But... what? Anyone else gonna be able to see that now? I'm so gonna make that a thing. I'm gonna make that a thing. I'm gonna make that a thing. I swear I did not just go into demo record and take a quick clip in order to give me the snake. Delta Alliance Unimatrix shield. Oh. I distracted myself from these shields. Guys, may I ask what passed not to look? Because... oh god, I've got to look anyway. What is going on? Oh, the cells are hideous. Why can't they get... why did they decide having random dead textures or black textures within the green glow was a good idea? Because it breaks it and no longer feels like it's glowing, it just feels like it's got dead zones. Much like the texturing for the RCS thrusters. Get out of it. No, Dyson. Solene Dyson Regenerative Shield Array. My faith in STO has been restored. That just looks beautiful. Look at the lower hull texturing for the secondary texture. It looks really nice. And the trims on the pylons look beautiful. Torpedo tubes looking nice, and the cells, they're popping with the white and purple. Yeah, it's a nice look. It's the same about the shadowing texture right there, isn't it? What the hell? You can't win them all, people. You can't win them all. Oh god, the last review I did for visual, this was hideous. Actually worse than the Breen. Iconian resistance resilience shields. Let's have a look. Complete opposite story this time. Mind you, I think that's because this ship is more of a... it uses more curves and rounded effects than the last ship did. And because of all these curves, because of all the rounding elements, none of the actual elements of the Iconian shield really feel out of place. It's definitely, the entire saucer looks amazing. The deflector looks good. I mean... it's got snake eyes again. Literally, this, yeah. I'm seeing animals and things. What the hell? I mean, it's not bad looking. I'm actually fond of it. Complete opposite story to the last time round. Next up, we go to Lucari. The Lucari Restoration Intuitive. No, I'm not saying any more because I'll get tongue-tied. Oh, hello, we go straight in there. There's actually sort of rainbow feel to the pylons right now, isn't there? That's quite nice. I like that. It's not booming, but as you go underneath, you can just about see elements of pink and yellow. Just about. Which surprises me a little bit, because I didn't really think there would be any. That on my eye, that on colorblind when I'm seeing things. not bad really, is it? Okay, and on to the Mako. Huh. Okay. Not really sure what I think of this one. Certainly I like the sort of metallic black sooty feel it's got on little spots of the ship. I mean, it does look like someone has set fire to the underside of the saucer, but, well, burnt the underside of the saucer and then left it be. But that's not really a change, is it? It's like my cooking. Wait, what? Nukara crystalline resilient shields. Folian time. Which look really nice. I'm keen on it. A lot more keen than I was expecting to be. If that says anything. It's a nice look, a nice touch, and I do approve. I swear I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm just hyper. Too much ADHD. Time for the competitive shields, aka the prevailing in my case. I'm blaming my hyperactivity on ADHD, but it's actually on caffeine! Not entirely keen on the saucer. Can't say I'm that keen on the... It's weird. The secondary texture of the competitive is normally one of my favourite little tidbits to the competitive shields. But on this one occasion, I'm not keen on it. Instead, it's actually, well, kind of putting me off. No changes. Okay, next up we have, the Romulan Advanced Prototype. Huh. The Romulan hull armor plating doesn't really feel tacked out of place. Mind you, I have always questioned why the Romulan hull armor plating does what it does, because to me this is not so much it's clearly an aesthetic change done by the Romulans to make it stand out, but they may as well have primarily used most of the original hull armor for it to look exactly the same, which to me just says that all they've done is reinforce the weak spots. So are we supposed to think that every one of these green spots on the ship are actually the vulnerable points of the ship, the weakest areas, the bits that if they're taken out will blow the ship up? Oh, now I know where the engineering is. I'll take it a mic. But yeah, no, not entirely keen on that one, if I'm honest. Temporal defense. Don't know what I was expecting, but it was not that. Huh. Okay. Well, 50-50 on that one, really. That one numbed me. I didn't actually have anything to say with that one. Terran Task Force Covariant Shield Array. Well, at least the random blue lighting is in an effective place. To me, that just makes the RCS look more powerful, and the deflector dish looks different, doesn't it? The sides are looking relatively nice. It's very clean. Again, really starting to think those are RCS thrusters on the nacelles. Well, you'll know if I thought they were or not, because I'll probably have said that in the actual breakdown of the details. Yeah. Probably, yeah. Do I mean probably? I know I'm going to say it at this point. Dielectric oscillating resilient shields. Huh. Debris and trash can is still trash can, but not as bad as I was expecting, which makes a very pleasant change, because normally I just want to scream every single time I see this one. Mind you, someone did warn me to actually pay attention to it on this ship. Said that it won't be as bad as it normally feels. And I agree. I agree. Still bad though. Still looks like trash. Still looks like someone's built this ship out of trash pieces. Okay, Jem'Hadar. She's old, she's viable, she's pretty, I like. Houston, we have liftoff. Houston? Houston! I can't English. And I speak the language. When I say speak the language, I mean it's my first language. What's that? What's that? I'm gonna have to take a I'm gonna have to take a closer look at that. That just popped my attention. Yes, I'm doing it this way around because normally I take hours before I actually do the breakdown review piece. Yes, hours, because I'm looking for certain things, and for once, I want to try and make that a little bit shorter. Riemann! Whoa! The Marmite shield, you love it or you hate it? I will never stop saying that. Well, I will stop saying that. I'm kind of just saying it this time, sort of. How is the RCS thrusters got dead textures on them? That really there's dead textures on the windows as well. I believe that's the Arboretum windows, and they've got dead textures on them. What's going on? The dead textures on the Cryptic. Please, for the love of mercy, you've got this shield. You've made this shield part of the Romulan reputation as well. Could you please go back to it and fix your dead textures? Please. Please, because I hate the look of the ship with this shield on. All because of the dead textures. Wow. Hey, but she's a nice looking ship. Well then, from here... Well, you know where it goes from after this. I'm going to go do the visual breakdown. Hey! So for once I can't go straight into doing the actual end of the video. Okay guys, so let's give the Horatio class its credit. She's a good looking design. She's a very nice ship. And quite frankly, as much as I'm still not 100% keen on the secondary hull, for the most part, she's beautifully designed, and it's definitely a ship that I enjoy flying because of Space Barbie. Now, with this being said, guys, my final score of this ship's design in game is 8 out of 10. Would have scored higher if, this is the major if here, if it had just had a little bit more flow to it. Okay guys, so to give the ship credit, my final score of it is going to be 8 out of 10. But I'm not really sure on how what to do to make it score a bit higher. Personal preference would be to take the secondary hull and give it a closer to Galaxy class feel, and I think that would heavily lean me more towards liking it. Well, you can tell by my choice of hull for this ship when I have my personal variant. But otherwise, yeah, this ship is really nice looking, and I've got my gripes, but of course everyone's got their gripes about certain designs. I do think Cryptic's done a stunning job with this ship. Now, can I just ask, let me know what you think of her. I would love to hear in the comment section what you think of this ship, what you would change, what you like, what bits are you really happy with about her, what bits made you go, what? Obviously for me, it's the nacelles and the deflector dish, but that being said. And can I just say a huge thank you to all of you who have watched through this video to the very end of this video. I really do appreciate that support, and to the ones credited on screen right now, my Patreons, my donators, my Twitch subscribers, I couldn't be doing these videos without your support. So to you, a further massive thank you. I really do appreciate it. All donations made to the channel go towards improving the equipment I'm using to record with, sometimes saving the channel as it had to do earlier on last year, and actually acquiring the ships in order to do these reviews. Now with that being said, thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you may have considered liking and subscribing, ringing the notification bell to stay up to date on everything I'm working on, and checked out my social medias in the description so that I can say hope to see you there, and I hope to see you next time. Live long and prosper, my friends. Ciao for now.